17 months after the 2023 war, can Palestine still be found? Some would say no, that it was all destroyed. But here's the thing, Palestine in 2025 is still standing, still resisting. It may not look like it, but it is. Here's what we found when we returned to Gaza. This is part 2 of our series. Let's get right into it. 2 daily struggles. Widespread destruction. That's what we found everywhere. A total of 185,000 housing units were destroyed or severely damaged. 55% of the population is in need of emergency shelter, healthcare, food, clean water, electricity. All these things are a distant reality for millions of Palestinians. And to top it all off, the trauma of the war, the fear of another one, the unexploded bombs in the streets, all of this makes life in Gaza very unstable and dangerous. 3. Global silence. We also found a world that is watching. Millions of people around the world are aware of what's happening in Palestine, yet don't really know how to help. The international community has pledged billions of dollars in aid, but much of it is slow to arrive or doesn't arrive at all. What's worse, some countries are making the reconstruction of Gaza conditional on Israel's demand. So while the world talks about Palestinian rights, in reality, it's allowing Israel to keep getting away with its occupation. Yet in the midst of all this, we found something else. 2, something that gives us hope for hope and resilience. In the face of all this destruction, Palestinians have not given up. They're trying to rebuild their lives with very limited resources. The streets of Gaza are filled with kids going to school, families going about their daily activities. People are trying to make a living. They're trying to go back to normal. It's heartbreaking to see the struggle, but it's also inspiring. We saw schools being built, businesses trying to reopen, farmers trying to plant crops. It's a very powerful message. It shows that no matter how difficult things are, life goes on. Unity, even in the face of death, life goes on. That's why we're filming this series. We want to share these stories with the world. We believe it's important for everyone to know that Palestine is not just a piece of land. It's a place where millions of people live, and these people deserve to have their stories heard. They deserve to have their pain acknowledged, but also their strength and resilience. 5. Powerful message. The people of Palestine have not given up on their fight for freedom and justice. They continue to resist in all ways they can. From peaceful protests to speaking out against the occupation, Palestinians are using their voices to demand change. And it's working. More and more people around the world are standing in solidarity with Palestine. There are protests on the streets. There are campaigns on social media. People are becoming aware and they're taking action. 6. Unity. Finally, we found unity. Activists from around the world are coming together to support Palestine. People from different backgrounds, religions, and cultures, all united by one cause: justice for Palestine. We saw firsthand the power of unity. When people come together and stand up for what they believe in, they can make a real difference. The war may have taken a lot from the Palestinians, but it hasn't broken their spirit. They continue to stand tall in the face of adversity. The world may have turned its back on them, but the Palestinians continue to look forward. They continue to dream of a better future for themselves and for their children. So the question we want to leave you with is this: can Palestine overcome? The answer is yes, but it's up to the world to decide if it will stand with them. In the end, all we can do is hope, hoping that the world sees the strength of the Palestinian people, the dignity with which they're holding on to their culture and traditions, and the courage with which they are fighting for their rights. Hope that the world acknowledges the suffering of the Palestinian people, the trauma of the war, the loss of their loved ones, and the injustice of the occupation. As we wrap up this series, we want to leave you with the words of Palestinian poet Mahmoud Darwish, who said, "Hope survives, not because the body is immortal, but because they do. the people of Palestine continue to hope for a better future because they are alive. They're breathing, they're feeling, they're dreaming, and they're resisting. And that's what gives them strength. We hope you've been moved by the stories you've seen in this series. We hope you feel the same sense of urgency and hope that we do, because the truth is, the situation in Gaza is dire. But the Palestinian people are strong, they're resilient, and they're hopeful. And that's something that we can all admire and learn from. Thank you for watching.